welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today I have a different kind of pattern that I'm going to make doubles of, and I'm going to try to make it as different as possible. So this is going to be a kind of a tricky one, but all right, this is pattern number 28419 on friendshipbracelets.net. So my thought is these light ones are, wait, oh, on the wrong layer. These two, we're going to do it on the side, kind of like it was normal. And then this goes up here. So this way, this is going to be the mirror on the other side, right? Because we're starting it right across this this boundary. And then what? It skips one right here. Does this again. Does this. And then the other side. It's kind of interesting the way it goes. When I saw the pattern itself, I thought this would be interesting for a bunch of different ways of doing it, including using it in I don't like how it ends. We might do something about that later. So basically, this one here is a single strand. Oop, can't go that way. This way. Single strand, and it's just kind of bouncing around outside with two other strands. Of the other color, the darker color. And you can't go inside with it because otherwise then you would get this middle one would be light as well. Right, so we need the dark ones to pass through there. So essentially, I'm just trying to find a path for these light ones to do what they have to do. And then everything else will be the dark ones. Again, not that tricky. And yes, you could have one come in as long as the other one doesn't, but that just makes things a little bit harder. And then I could probably let this one go out this way and this one out the other side. Right? Right. Actually, I can let that one come right out the edge there. And then this one is there. Because normally it would be, the way I do it, it would be one strand going into the kumi of the light and two strands of the dark. And then you'll have two lights coming down and four dark. So that's what this is, essentially. So now I'm going to apply a trick here. I'm going to switch it to the darker color. I'm going to select by color, which grabs up everything. Go to the paint tool, and I'm going to choose the fill hole section and make everything else dark. Ta-da! Okay, now I can go back to filling similar areas. And so that's our first half. Now, the second half, I am going to work with the light color over here. So this is halfway in between, like this is, right? So this one in the middle isn't quite this line up with the other. I have to go either above or below it to do it. see. So my thought was just to have it off-centered, which it's still going to be, but it can't be perfectly off-center, which is a bit of a disappointment for me. See how I was trying to do it. That's all right. Skips one. I wonder if, yeah, I guess there's no real way. Just it's part of like how the pattern itself was. And then it skips this one. It's going to skip another here. All right. And the dark gray that we used is so close to the black, it's actually taking up some of the lines, which is kind of unfortunate. Makes it difficult if anybody else wants to swap out a color or something, but that's okay. I plan on doing this in a dark and a light anyways, so I'll just accept it as kind of learning for my own. You know, I've talked about it so many times. I know better than to use too dark a gray, but so as far as the making ability of this one, I can't say if this is going to necessarily be easier or more difficult. I would, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say that there's a good chance that this is going to be more difficult because of the fact that it doesn't have like a whole lot of places where you can see where you are and what you have to do. So it's going to be a challenge. But yeah, this is going to look pretty neat. So I'm going to grab my select tool, and this time I'm going to select the whole top half like that. Copy and paste it, grab my flip tool, and go off the center line here. And there's our pattern. I can hide the original now. That's my design. So yeah, this will be a really interesting one to make. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, well, thank you for hanging out with me. This definitely didn't quite go the way I thought it would, but I got to say I'm not disappointed. And I think this is another one of those patterns that might actually look really, really cool if you kept making it wider and wider, you know, and even got around to like say even making a bag or something out of it. This could be really, really super cool. So yeah, just some thoughts there for you. Anyways, thank you to my Patreon members and my, well, Patreon supporters and YouTube members. I don't know why that has to be that way, but it just sounds better to me. They make all this stuff possible. If you want to join them and have your name mentioned at the end of a video, that would be really cool. It would help me out a great deal, and you get bragging rights about being how awesome you really are. So that would be cool. If you can't afford it, I don't fault you for that. That's okay. Just hit the like button because that helps the channel as well. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.